Jumping right into the video, these are the ingredients you're going to need to make a pozole verde. Is 1 pound of chicken breast, 2 pounds of skinless legs, 1 pound of tomatillos, 1 large onion, 4 cloves of garlic, 2 dried bay leaves, and 2 chicken bouillon cubes, 1 tablespoon of oregano, salt and pepper to taste, 2 poblano peppers, a third of a cup of pumpkin seeds toasted, 1 handful of fresh cilantro, 1 big handful of spinach, 3 30-ounce can of hominy, drained and rinsed. In a large pot, add water. And go ahead and add in your chicken. Okay, now we're gonna add in 1 large onion, but before doing so, we're going to cut off the edges. That way it is easier to peel, and once we take off the skin from the onion, then we can add it into our pot. Same goes for our 4 cloves of garlic. I'm just going to smash the garlic so that way it can break off from the skin, and it's just more easier that way before we add it into our pot as well. Now you're gonna add in your 2 dry bay leaves, 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon, 1 tablespoon of oregano. I added a tablespoon of pepper as well as salt. Meanwhile, we are going to roast our 2 poblano peppers and toast our pumpkin seeds. Keeping in mind that you want your poblanos roasted and your pumpkins toasted evenly, so be sure to flip it. Now we can move on to our tomatillos or our green tomatoes, and we're just going to remove the skin from here. And they do have a sticky feeling, so I do recommend that you do wash them before you transfer them into a medium pot to come to a boil. Notice when your tomatillos come to a boil, you'll notice a color change, and that will let you know that they are ready. Our poblano and our pumpkin seeds are done, roasted and toasted, and I'm just going to put our poblanos into a bag so that way they can sweat and cool off a bit. That way it's easier to peel off their skin. This is my first time using the Great Value hominy. I usually prefer the Juanita's hominy, but they didn't have any on stock, so this is what I'm going to be using today. And you're just going to want to put this into a drainer, and that way you can just wash and rinse them before you add them into your large pot. Moving back to our poblanos, they are still semi-hot, but the heat doesn't bother me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and peel it with my fingers. If it is too hot for you, I would use a napkin or maybe a knife as well, can help you to remove the skin. Or even at that, if you have the time, just continue to leave them in your plastic bag. The longer the better, because it'll become easier for you to remove the skin from the poblano as well as the inside to remove the seeds as well. I didn't mention this in the beginning, but this is optional. You can add in 1 to 2 jalapenos for a spicier pozole, but I skipped that part because I know my family wouldn't like it. They're not really into spicy food, so I had to skip that part. On the other hand, I do love spicy, so as you can see here, this is why I'm not cleaning it perfectly, because I feel like if it has a little bit of seeds, it will be just a tad spicy for me. All right, so once the chicken is cooked, you can go ahead and remove it from the pot, and you can either let it cool down or go ahead and start shredding it with a fork. I will show you how I shred mine later. Strain pot of chicken broth, and then you want to reserve broth for later use. This is what it should look like from when you strain your chicken broth, and you just want to discard the bay leaves. All right, so now we're gonna wanna place our contents from strainer into the blender along with your toasted pumpkin seeds as well as your roasted and clean poblano peppers, a handful of cilantro, a handful of spinach, and 1 cup of reserved chicken broth. And then you're gonna wanna blend this until smooth. In your preheated large pot, add puree and let it simmer for about 3 minutes. Once the 3 minutes is up, then you can add in the remaining reserved chicken broth. And then you're gonna also now want to add in your drained and rinsed hominy. And you just wanna let this cook for about 25 minutes. So this is where I show you how I shred my chicken. Some of you might consider lazy, but honestly, it is so quick and easy. I don't have to wait for my chicken to cool down or burn my fingers from shredding it or even using a fork and taking forever. This just gets it so much done and faster. And yeah, but anyways, I just wanted to show you that. And then once we have our shredded chicken, you can add it into your pot, and then you can also add in salt to taste if needed. And then you just want to continue to simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes and then serve. I left it on here for 15 minutes just to show you. I don't know, I feel much better that way if I let it simmer in there longer, so that way the whole flavor can grab onto the chicken as well. Since we have about 10 to 15 minutes, we're just going to shred our cabbage as well as thinly slice our cherry radishes. And then we're also going to chop off some fresh onion. And this is totally optional, which is some avocado as well. And don't forget your lime. I totally forgot to put that in a video clip for you guys, but I did include some freshly squeezed lime onto my pozole verde. And that is pretty much it. This recipe serves about 8 to 10 single serving. But let me know if you are team pozole verde or team pozole rojo. I've had both. They're both delicious in my opinion. But this is the only recipe that I know how to personally cook that me and my family love. But as soon as I learn how to make the pozole rojo, of course, I'm going to share it with you guys. But let me know if you enjoyed it, if you tried it, if you like it. But yeah, so this is pretty much it, the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. And that is pretty much it. And I have nothing else to say except I love you guys, and I will see you on my next video. Bye. Thanks, guys.